what do we need to be able to reach out to each other, to shake our hands, so that many things that we are suffering from can actually be resolved? You see, as a person, as an individual, there is a little you can do. But if you lift your burden onto the community, then that body can actually be resolved. That problem, whatever, no matter how big it is, it can be consumed by the community and it will become a very small problem, because the community or the people put together can solve any type of problem. I repeat, when we do that, there is no military in the world that can stand us. There is no economic strategy that can withstand us. We can do anything because we are one people and we can solve any problem. That, like I was saying before, somebody that is suffering from loneliness can suddenly find out that his problem is going to come from the other person who do not necessarily speak his or her language, but he is using the same Ubuntu. We are Africans in the diaspora. We can solve any problem, but first we must connect among ourselves. Now, things fall apart. Things fall apart. Chuno Achebe was saying in his book, Things Fall Apart, he was talking of the pounded yam. Now, the pounded yam is something, it's a food that is very common among many of us, not only among the Igbo, but many of us actually. That the pounded yam was so big a pounded yam. You know, pounded yam is actually made of a yam that you have pounded. Of course, you boil the yam, then you pound it. Of course, add a little bit of cassava product to it. Then it becomes pounded yam. Then you eat it with all sort of vegetable soup. It's the best type of food that you can do in my place, culturally speaking. So it is fall apart now in the description of Chuno Achebe. The pounded yam was so big because it was made for the community that two people were actually eating, their friends. But one was eating at one end, the other one was eating at the other end. The pounded yam was so big, it was a mountain that they didn't see themselves until they have eaten to a point. The pounded yam actually broke and it fell to one side. Then one of them raised hand, the other one raised, oh, Okokwo. Okay, I'm just saying Okokwo. Then they made mention of the other guy that was there. So you are there. Then they shook themselves on top of the pounded yam. Now, what am I talking about? I'm talking about this connection. What do we need to be able to reach out to each other, to shake our hands, so that many things that we are suffering from can actually be resolved? Because suddenly we'll come to understand that even among us that are experts, maybe what you are suffering from is loneliness, because you are thinking that you need to be in Africa today, but you are not there, so you are suffering. But maybe if you talk to somebody that look like you, he might help you to overcome it, because that person might actually be an expert on helping people to overcome loneliness. If you don't talk to him, you will think that there are no solution to that. But if you talk to him, because he is like you, he will know how to console you. Maybe in the area of business, you have a business, you don't have a website, for example. Let me use that as an instance, because we do website for businesses. Now you are sort of worried, how can I do this? But because you are a community, you share your problem with other people that look like you. You might come to understand that even near you there is somebody who can solve this problem for you. You see, as a person, as an individual, there is a little you can do. But if you lift your burden onto the community, then that body can actually be resolved. That problem, whatever, no matter how big it is, it can be consumed by the community and it will become a very small problem, because the community or the people put together can solve any type of problem. Again, I want to repeat, the diaspora, the African diaspora community are hundreds of millions of people. There is no problem in the world that is bigger than hundreds of millions of people. But the question is, are we leveraging this power? Are we connecting among ourselves? By connecting, I mean, are we able to go beyond the fact that, oh, I am Afro-French, I am Afro-American, I am Afro-China, I am Afro-German. Can we lay emphasis on the Afro instead of the German, the American, or the French? Because when we do that, I repeat, when we do that, there is no military in the world that can stand us. There is no economic strategy that can withstand us. We can do anything because we are one people and we can solve any problem. That, like I was saying before, somebody that is suffering from loneliness can suddenly find out that his problem is going to come from the other person who do not necessarily speak his or her language, but he is using the same Ubuntu. Africans. We are Africans in the diaspora. We can solve any problem, but first we must connect among ourselves. So I thank all of you again, and I pass the mic to Olatuji. Please share with us.
It's a great pleasure to be here. That's Yoruba language from Nigeria and some other places in the world too. It's going to be a good year for us all, and beautiful things will happen to us and even from us. I want to appreciate every one of us again on this platform. I say thank you so much for holding this lampstand, this torchlight, and making sure that the world is coming to its rising. This is very important for us. It was like laying the foundation in 2023, and here we are. If you look closely, my name is Olatunji Bialunke. I'm grateful for the opportunity, and for you to hear me now, it means that you're also a hero. You fought through, and you are here. We do not take that for granted. We are very grateful for the opportunity to be here today. I especially want to appreciate, my friends, my, speakers on the platform, everybody here. I want to appreciate you so much for, giving your time and your intellect for this revival that we look forward to having, especially from 2024, because I believe strongly that we have laid very good foundation in the previous year, and going forward, a lot is going to be happening. As I will be helping much more people this year through personal development and business development as well, it becomes very important for me that we need to do the reawakening. We need to do a lot of connecting of the dots, and that's very important. Reconnecting the African diaspora through storytelling is very important that we understand that the purpose is not for gathering of people who like to talk or who don't have what to do aside saying something. This is the toughest way of achieving this very difficult task, because it looks like, hey, come on, we are not building bridges, to connect Italy to Kenya. We are not building railways to connect the United Kingdom to Egypt. So how are we reconnecting the African diaspora? So it becomes very unbelievable when we tell you that what we are doing here is more than what the Vanderbilts, and the great men. So when purpose is not known, abuse already started from the point of that ignorance. So why we are doing this is because at the foundation of reconnecting our power we need to know our identity.
Hello and thank you for checking out this video. I'm Obehi Ewanfo, the host of the African Diaspora Storytelling series. Every 2 weeks we meet up on LinkedIn to talk about different ways we can leverage the power of storytelling as people of African descent. Now this is it. We are uniting the millions of Africans in the diaspora through the power of our story. It does sound like what you are interested in. Make sure to subscribe to this channel and share this video with your friends who might need it. Now back to today's conversation.
All right, we need to get our identity. And earlier, Sobe was talking about frequency. I love energy. My engineering background is so important. So everything I do, that I make sure that I bring out energy from everything. And as a matter of fact, we are actually bags of energy. We exhibit and express our energy at different tempos with respect to time, place, and people. So we can't go away from the fact that for us to be able to make things happen, we must understand how energy is transformed. And you see, when you hear frequency, you see what I see in frequency, you are never going to be free from the consequence when you understand how to tune into the frequency. It's not going to happen. You can't walk free away from the impact of getting yourself in the right frequency. All right. Now we have got a lot of energy as individuals, and I like to use this analogy, especially for two persons that must do the same thing. They must agree. When you have 50 Newton as the force that you are bringing to the table, someone else has 70 Newton as the force that is coming to the table. Resultant of forces taught me that when forces go in the same direction, they are added together. All right. But when they go in opposite direction, they are subtracted from one another. So when you look at 70 and 50, I intentionally chose those figures because of what I want to say now. 20 and 120, right? They sound alike, all right? But the difference is just in the direction. 70 plus 50 is 120. 70 minus 50 is 20. This is the disservice we do to ourselves when we do not understand how powerful we are coming together. You can be so powerful individually, and that has gotten so much into your head, and you feel like, hey, come on, I can do this. I've got the capacity. What's the purpose? All right, our identity, discovery, and formation. This is very important. Look at the word identity. Do you see what I'm saying in the word identity? I am seeing the indestructible entity. All right, the only man that is going to be destroyed, the only man that anybody can bully, all right, is a man that has got no sense of identity. All right, you won't call a man an animal and he will start crying if he does not know that he's actually a man. But when a man is not sure of who he is, you can call him a stick and he will cry. All right, so we need to be able to come to that term that this is who we are. We are not people that came from apes. All right, if apes ever became human beings, then there should be no apes again. They should all have gone through evolution. So we need to be able to understand clearly who we are, because this exactly will be giving us a lot of strength. And this is what is happening on this platform. I call what is happening here like a server. In information connectivity, server is like a software or hardware that has the capacity of accepting and responding to requests. All right. Now there must be a network. There must be a network to facilitate this, response. All right. So, and that's what is happening here. So every time people come, anybody that comes here is like a computer that is connected to this server. All right. You are going to be making a request and there's going to be a response.